Hello, and welcome. This is a slow story for the evening. Nothing here needs your attention. If your thoughts wander off, let them wander. The story will be here whenever you come back. Tonight, we are going to the coast, out of season. To an old hotel above a gray beach, quiet and warm and half to yourself. Wind, warm rooms, the sea moving all night behind the glass. Make yourself comfortable. Let us begin. It is late afternoon in the middle of autumn. The bus lets you out at the end of the coast road, then continues around the bend. Then it is quiet in the way open places are quiet. Not silent, just wide. The wind comes off the water and moves past you, steady and cool. It smells of salt and of wet stone, and faintly of wood smoke from somewhere inland. Below the road, the beach is long and open. Gray sand, darker where the tide has been. A line of low waves folding over, one after another, without hurry. Just sand and water and the long open line of the shore. The busy season has eased off, and the whole coast has gone soft and slow. The little cafe near the bus stop has stacked its tables behind the glass. A chalkboard sign has been brought in from the weather. In an upstairs window, a lamp has already been turned on. These are the quieter months, when the town seems to draw closer to itself. For a little while, the coast is simply resting. For a few days, you can move through it without any need to hurry. You lift your bag and start along the road. The hotel stands on the rise above the beach. It seems older than the buildings around it, and generous with its space. 4 floors of pale stone, with a long veranda facing the water. A handful of windows are lit, warm and yellow, scattered across the front. A flag on the roof turns slowly in the wind, then turns back. The white paint on the veranda railing has loosened in long curls. Someone will repaint it in the spring. Nothing about it needs attention tonight. Deck chairs are stacked and covered at one end of the veranda. A single chair has been left out, facing the sea. Two hydrangea bushes stand beside the steps, their summer color faded to paper. A few dry flower heads move gently whenever the wind reaches them. Near the door, a shallow dish has collected a little rainwater and one copper-colored leaf. You climb the steps, and the wind drops away behind the building. The door is heavy, with a brass handle worn smooth by many hands. Inside, the air is warm and still, and everything is quieter at once. The lobby is dim and high-ceilinged. A lamp burns on the desk. Another glows further in, near the stairs. The floor is old wood, polished by decades of shoes. Behind the desk, a man is doing a crossword. He is somewhere past 60, in a cardigan, with a pencil behind his ear. He looks up and gives you an easy, unhurried nod.
You're in room 11, at the top of the stairs, on the side facing the sea.
He slides a key across the desk, an actual key with a wooden tag. He finds your name in the register and turns it around for your signature. The page is nearly empty, and the fountain pen moves quietly across it. He asks no questions about your plans.
There's tea in the lounge until late, if you'd like some.
Then he settles comfortably back into his crossword. A clock ticks somewhere behind him, a little slow. The staircase turns twice, with a worn red carpet held down by brass rods. Every third stair gives a small sound, and then is quiet again. The corridor upstairs is long and dim. A radiator ticks somewhere along it, keeping the whole floor warm. There are framed pictures of the coast on the wall. The same beach in other years, soft behind the glass. In one, the veranda is crowded with wicker chairs and broad summer hats. In another, the hotel stands after a day of rain, its windows bright against the clouds. The photographs have faded differently, some toward blue and some toward warm brown. At the far end, a tall window holds the last of the daylight. Pale silver, the color the sky goes near the sea. You can hear the water from here, through the walls. Not loudly, just there, underneath everything. Your door is the second on the left, number 11. The key turns easily, and the door swings inward. The room is simple and larger than you expected. A bed with a white cover and a folded wool blanket at the foot. A wooden chair, a small desk, a wardrobe with a slightly crooked door. The lamp on the bedside table gives a small, warm circle of light. It throws a wider, softer circle up onto the ceiling, and the corners stay dim. The room smells faintly of clean linen and of the sea coming in around the window frame. On the desk is a square of thick writing paper with the hotel's name pressed into the top. Beside it lies a pencil, sharpened and waiting, though there is nothing you need to write. A blue glass rests upside down on a little tray. Everything seems to have its familiar place. Everything in the room has been used for years and kept well. The blanket is made of soft gray wool, folded in three, and heavier than it looks. You run your hand across it once, and it holds the shape for a second. You set your bag down, and you do not unpack it yet. The radiator under the window is warm to the touch. You rest your hands on it for a moment, out of habit. The cold from the coast road leaves your fingers slowly. The window faces the water. It is the whole reason for the room. You open it a little, and the sound of the waves comes through more clearly. The long draw of a wave gathering. The break, the wide hush as it spreads up the sand. And then the drag back, slower, taking the small stones with it. Then again, and again. Never quite the same twice, and never really different. The waves do not arrive on any schedule you could write down. Some come quickly, one behind another. Then a long one takes its time. Between them, there is a small space where the sound almost stops. And then it fills again, from the far end of the beach inward. The air coming through the gap is cool on your face. It smells of salt and of rain that has not arrived yet. Out on the water, the light is going. The sea is dark silver near the shore and paler far out. A single gull crosses the window, unhurried, and is gone. Along the beach, a narrow stream reflects the last strip of sky. The water bends around the stones and finds its way quietly toward the tide. Farther down the coast, the first lights of the town appear one by one. You close the window most of the way, leaving it open by a hand's width. Enough for the sound of the waves to remain in the room. Later, you go back down for the tea. The lounge is at the front of the hotel, facing the veranda and the sea. It is a big room with plenty of chairs in it. Deep armchairs in soft green, arranged in little groups, waiting comfortably. Tonight, they are mostly resting, and that suits the room. A fire is going in the grate, low and settled, past its noisy stage. There is an upright piano against the far wall, its lid down, resting. A stack of board games with soft corners, a shelf of paperbacks left by guests. An older couple sits near the window with a teapot between them, comfortable and unhurried. They nod at you. You nod back. That is the whole of the conversation, and it is enough. On a side table, a vase holds 3 branches of red leaves from the hotel garden. Their shadows move faintly whenever the fire shifts. You take the open chair nearest the fire. A few minutes later, the tea arrives on a tray. A brown pot, a white cup, a small jug of milk. 2 shortbread cookies on the saucer, just in case. The spoon has the softened shine of silver that has been polished many times. When you lift the lid, the tea is deep amber and fragrant. You pour, and steam lifts and leans and disappears. The first sip is still a little hot, so you set it down and wait. The chair is deep, and the arms are worn smooth where hands have rested. You sink farther into the chair than you meant to, and stay there. The fire moves quietly. A log settles by an inch. The light of it goes across the ceiling and the backs of the chairs. Outside the tall windows, the light has almost gone. The veranda railing is a pale line against a darker sea. You can still hear the water from in here under the sound of the fire. There is nothing to do next. Nowhere else you need to be. The cup warms your hands. You drink your tea slowly because there is no reason at all to hurry. Before you go up, you step out onto the veranda for a minute. By nightfall, the wind has eased. The air is cold and clean and tastes of salt. Down on the beach, the waves are white lines arriving out of the dark. You can see them a moment before you hear them. Far out, there is one small light on the water, moving very slowly. A boat going somewhere in its own time. Behind you, through the glass, the fire is a warm orange shape in a dim room. For a moment, the hotel and the beach seem to share the same deep quiet. You stay until the cool air reaches your fingers, and then you go inside. The stairs are quieter now. The lobby lamp has been turned down. The man at the desk has finished his crossword and left it folded there. Your room is warm. The sound of the sea has been there the whole time you were gone. You take your time getting ready. You fold your clothes over the wooden chair without thinking about it much. The floorboards are warm under your feet near the radiator. You turn the small lamp on and the big light off. The room goes soft and low, and the ceiling holds a little pool of light. The bed is cool at first, and then it is not. The wool blanket is heavy across your feet. On the bedside table, the wooden key tag lies beside the lamp. Number 11 faces upward in small brass figures. Beyond the circle of lamplight, the wardrobe and chair are only quiet shapes. Through the narrow opening in the window, the sound of the tide keeps returning. Gathering, breaking, drawing back. The sea will go on all night, keeping you company without asking anything. The fire downstairs will settle low and stay warm a long while. The chair on the veranda will keep its place, facing the water, ready for the morning. And in the morning, the light off the sea will be pale and enormous. But that is a long way off yet. Here, the room is dark and warm. There is nothing you need to decide tonight. Nothing that needs to be settled before morning. Rest now. Sleep well.